everyone, this is Paul Gale from PaulGaleNetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is November 9th, 2020, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, we have an update regarding Insomniac Games Spider-Man, previously for PS4, which is now coming out as Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered for PlayStation 5. You know, when Insomniac first mentioned that the PS5 would be getting a remastered version of Spider-Man, we were excited, and then came the whole Peter Parker face change, which some liked, some didn't, some were kind of impartial to. And then finally came the fact that your save file would not transfer over. So if you beat the game on PS4 or were midway through, you couldn't just continue from where you left off on your PS5 in the new remastered version with the better visuals, frame rate, etc. Now though, after a couple of months have gone by, Insomniac put out a tweet that said, "We have heard you. In an upcoming update for Spider-Man PS4, we will add the ability to export your save to Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. This update will also add the 3 new suits from Remastered to the PS4 game. We expect to bring you this update around Thanksgiving." So that's really cool. Props to Insomniac Games for doing this, because not only will now you have the opportunity to take your PS4 save file of Spider-Man and have a whole new set of trophies, because the trophies are completely different, and carry that over onto your PlayStation 5. But if you are still playing on your PS4, you'll be able to benefit from getting these 3 new costumes that are added. And I like that they're doing this. It's pretty cool for the fans. I beat the game back on PS4. That's something that I 100%ed. I loved it. Huge fan of that title. I'm looking forward to playing it again, and possibly this time going through New Game Plus, and that's one of the perks. I could have New Game Plus and continue from where I left off and experience that on the PS5 and the story all over again, but you know, with some different changes, different difficulty, etc. And of course, Miles Morales, which is what I'm really looking forward to, because between the 2 games, I'm ready for something new, you know. But still nice for anybody that was pretty bummed that their original save file couldn't transfer over. Now it can. Moving along in news, Mortal Kombat 11, we got an update on that today regarding CrossGen saves and CrossGen play. So on the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, there will be the option to play against people on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The toggle is set to casual matches, but it is pretty neat that it's happening regardless. It's an update that's coming out soon too, November 17th, so just in 8 more days. Unfortunately, the feature will not be available on Nintendo Switch or PC. So cross-generation is coming, but not to PC or Nintendo Switch. That's kind of unfortunate. Now, I actually have the game on Nintendo Switch and on my Xbox One X, so I'm safe for the next gen and transferring that over onto Xbox Series X, and you know, still having the opportunity to play with a large, you know, network of people across multiple consoles. But I think definitely, yeah, the Nintendo Switch build was the one that I ended up playing more, because there were times where I just liked the nature of playing in a different place on the couch or whatever. I dealt with, you know, graphic fidelity being less, but still very competent, still looked good and played fine, and was at 60 frames per second, so no complaints there. But yeah, you know, if you want to play for visuals, that's definitely a game that does look significantly better on, you know, Xbox One or PS4, and especially on Xbox One X. But if you have Mortal Kombat and you're looking for a big pool of people to play with, you know, if you get the game on PS5 or Xbox Series S or X, here you go. You'll still have the ability to play with Xbox One or PS4 owners. It's kind of weird omission to not have PC as part of it, but could have something to do with the netcode, but hard to tell exactly. Next up, we have some news regarding Apple TV and Microsoft. Now, this ironically is coming to us tomorrow, November 10th, but I don't think this is all that's coming November 10th, because remember a couple of weeks ago on Video Game News with Paul Gale Network, I mentioned that there's one more thing. Apple released a teaser. One more thing coming November 10th. Stay tuned. And I made a joke. Yeah, that one more thing is going to be Apple going into the video game console race, or they're going to team up with Xbox to release the Xbox Series X and the Apple partnership and stuff like that. Well, as much as that was a joke, what we are getting in reality is Apple TV on Xbox consoles beginning tomorrow. So on your Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series S, or Xbox Series X, you'll be able to access Apple TV. Now, Apple TV, it previously existed as its own device, hook it up to the TV, etc. But now you could benefit from the extra services of Apple TV's original content and have that available to you on your Xbox One X, for instance, without having to buy a separate Apple TV device. So that's kind of nice. Now, Microsoft already has its own access to apps such as Disney Plus, so you don't necessarily have to hop in Disney Plus from the Xbox menu and then, choose to go into the Apple TV menu and then choose Disney Plus through it. That's kind of what the purpose was of an Apple TV in the first place, was a central hub. But what's the benefit of having Apple TV on Xbox consoles? Definitely the Apple exclusive content that comes out. So, kind of nice. But, like I said, I don't think this is it for that one more thing to come. That, I guess, we will truly have to wait until tomorrow to find out what it is. And like I said previously, if it's anything particularly exciting, video game news-wise or not, I still may talk about it on Video Game News with PGN. So we'll see tomorrow. And finally, tomorrow's a pretty big day. The Xbox Series X and S come out. It'll be November 10th. New console launch, new generation. Although I count Nintendo Switch as the first 9th gen console, technically. But still, new designated hardware console TV only generation begins tomorrow. And we got a really neat thing from Gamers Outreach today, and The Rock, and Xbox. And it's kind of a blast from the past and an introduction note of something cool that's happening now. So I'm going to push play and we'll watch it together. It's nice.
Hey guys, DJ here. So I got some really cool and exciting news to share with you guys. So 20 years ago, I teamed up with my buddy Bill Gates and we launched the very first Xbox console to the world. And since then, over the years, I've had the real privilege of working very closely with Xbox to deliver Xbox consoles and Xbox games to kids all across the country in America and all over the world. Kids who are in need, kids who are fighting the good fight, kids who are hospitalized getting treatment, and we have delivered these smiles, if you will, over the years. So, the exciting announcement is I'm teaming up with Xbox once again. We are getting ready to launch to the world, of course, the brand new Xbox Series X. But before the world gets it, I have an opportunity to team up with Xbox and deliver some of the very first Xbox Series X consoles to kids all across the country in 20 hospitals. And we are teaming up with a charitable organization called Gamers Outreach. Now, Gamers Outreach is this awesome organization that provides video games and software to help kids cope with their stays in hospitals as they're getting their treatment and fighting the good fight. This is a look at the very first special edition rock outfitted Xbox Series X console. So we are outfitting these hospitals across the country with the Rock Go-Kart specials. That will obviously include this Xbox Series X. Holding this controller really brings back memories, because me as being an avid gamer, I mean, I just remember the nights when I would stay up all night long. I would just get my ass kicked on this. What is important is over the next year, we have over 50,000 kids who are going to be able to play this game. And I want to thank Gamers Outreach. I want to thank my good friends at Xbox, Microsoft, and thank you, Bill Gates, for letting me come on your journey 20 years ago. And most importantly, to all the kids out there who are in the hospital, who are getting their treatments in the United States and all around the world, I send you love, I send you strength, I send you mana. Stay strong, and have a great holiday season, and enjoy your new Xbox.
That's pretty awesome, isn't it? I love this kind of stuff. When somebody uses their celebrity for good, it really makes me happy to see. I've been a big fan of The Rock for many years. I was an avid WWF fan, back when I was a kid, and still enjoy the WWE product nowadays. And I've seen The Rock perform live in person, so I've followed his career from wrestling into starting off in Hollywood to now, you know, being a leading Hollywood actor for over a decade. And it's neat to see the journey, and I appreciate what he does. And I was there back in 2000, 2001, going to E3s, watching press conferences, sometimes going to press conferences. And I remember when The Rock teamed up, went on stage with Bill Gates, and they showed off the original Xbox with the big Duke controller. And that was a pretty fun, pretty exciting time. And here to see The Rock come kind of full circle, 360 if you will, and do this again is nice. Of course, he's done things with Xbox community, over the years, as you saw some of that footage, like, with the Jumanji 2 Special Edition, Xbox One X, giving that. But this in particular with Gamers Outreach is really neat. Give kids in hospitals at any time of the year a little bit of a break. Provide some extra entertainment. You know, have somebody famous come in, do something like that. That's cool. Give them a brand new console, boost them up. And with this year, everybody could use a boost, but especially people in this situation in need, there for some pretty serious health issues. I like what Microsoft is doing, so major props to Xbox. Really good job. Gamers Outreach, keep doing fantastic work. Rock, other folks, celebrities or not, keep people in mind like you do. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what you do for others that are affected by it. So that's the last thing I wanted to share today, because that was pretty nice for me. Well, we're now just several hours away from the Xbox Series X and S coming out. I'm getting my X tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. And then, of course, a couple more days from now comes out the PlayStation 5, which I'm also getting. So it's a good week. It's a pretty big week for gaming. All right. This is it for the day. Thank you for watching. This is Paul Gale Network signing out, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.